So Game Pass is now underway this fall in October with a plethora of new games that I'm excited to dive into. I'm Sonny, your host here at Xbox Central, and we're going to kick this off with Sifu. And this is a game that's all about third-person action with kung fu combat and cinematic martial arts. And you're going to play as a master fighter who's on a quest for revenge to hunt down your family's assassins, and you're completely on your own as you fight for not only your life, but for those that you've loved. Now, the action is both brutal and impactful in this game, where you're literally not only have to be quick and decisive with your actions, but you also have to be smart by using your environment to your advantage. Otherwise, you will lose considering you're alone and outnumbered. And that does mean using things like makeshift weapons, throwable objects, and maybe even throwing someone off a balcony. There's also a new arenas expansion that adds more hours of gameplay that tests your skills even further. There's 5 new game modes plus 15 new locations and a lot more challenges. So guys, there's a lot to dive into, especially if you love a unique and cool fighting game. Sifu is set to land here soon on October 2nd on cloud, console, and PC. Alright, so I thought this was a little strange today. Xbox themselves today announced 2 games for Game Pass that were already on Game Pass, so this kind of confused me for a bit. What I think though is happening is that these 2 games are actually coming to Game Pass Standard, and that is what's new. So the first game is Open Roads, and this is a game about a daughter and mom who go on a journey together to discover secrets of their family's past, and it's a pretty decent game overall. Now, the other game coming to Game Pass Standard is MLB The Show 24. If you guys have followed me for a while now, you guys are going to know there's nobody that's a bigger fan of this game than I am. I'm also a huge baseball fan myself, and the baseball playoffs actually start today, I think. So this is an amazing game if you want really the best baseball sim that's out there. Road to the Show is absolutely incredible, and I personally literally have hundreds and hundreds of, maybe even 1,000+ hours at this point. So this is a good one for those who are on Game Pass Standard. This one does land on Standard on October 2nd. And for a new game coming to Game Pass, we have Mad Streets, which this released years ago. It's a fist-fighting multiplayer game completely driven by wacky physics, really designed to be plain and simple, just a comical game. There really isn't a lot of depth to this title. It's honestly just meant to be pure chaos, as not only are you punching each other obsessively, and you'll see kind of things fly around the room, but there's things like a dodgeball mode, a rumble mode, and a lot more. And this is just kind of like another party game where you play with your online buddies, or you can play with them locally, and you just have a wacky fun time. This lands on Game Pass on October 7th. Now, a surprise drop on Game Pass is the game Inscryption. Now, before you write this game off, don't do it, because this game was like indie title of the year that dropped back in 2021. It has since, guys, received over 110,000 overwhelmingly positive user reviews. This game is well loved, and that's for a reason, and a ton of people have played this. Now, this is described as an inky black card-based title that blends deck-building roguelike with escape room puzzles mixed in with psychological horror. Now, I haven't had a chance to dive into this game, but now I can, now that it's coming to Game Pass. But one common theme I've seen among a lot of user reviews is the horror in this game is pretty good, and the story really keeps you hooked, which it can last around maybe 20 hours. Now, there will be a time you're literally at the table just kind of managing this card game and playing it out, but out of nowhere you'll also be forced to kind of get up and deal with the 3D escape room puzzles, which also tend to have a connection with the card game that you're playing at the table. Not only that, I've seen people say how creepy the horror can be, but really the biggest thing I've seen with a lot of the reviews with this game is that this is the best card game they have ever played, period. So I mean, holy crap. So if you guys are into deck building titles, Inscryption now I think becomes one of the more hidden gems on Xbox Game Pass, and I'm really excited to play this game after all these years, and I love that it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. This launches on October 10th on cloud, console, and PC. Now guys, if you've been wanting to get into the Mana series, now might be that perfect time. The HD remake of The Legend of Mana is available on Game Pass right now, and this is an absolute treat for both longtime Mana fans and those who might be new to the series. Now, this remake not only enhances the visuals, but it gives the classic hand-drawn art style a beautiful, modern, fresh look that I really think looks awesome. But it also adds some great new features like the ability to toggle off enemy encounters when you just want to explore. There's also a new Ring Land minigame which wasn't available with the original Western release, while also bringing back the classic game open-ended story structure, the charming characters, and the unique land make system where you actually place locations on the world map, really making this overall a really refreshing experience. Legends of Mana, as I said, is available now to play. So Trials of Mana is another solid addition to Game Pass that you can grab right now, even if you guys are not a Mana fan, but maybe somebody who just enjoys action RPGs. Now, unlike the Legend of Mana, Trials is a full 3D remake of the original game, offering a complete visual overhaul with beautiful graphics and smooth animations. And I really dig the combat in this game. It's really fast paced, and you can switch between characters in real time using their unique abilities and spells to tackle a variety of enemies and bosses in a lot of different ways. Plus, each character's story is different, giving the game some really awesome replayability if you want to experience it from different perspectives. If you guys are into RPGs with a good mix of exploration, action, and charming storytelling, this is going to be a great pick for you to play on Game Pass. So the legendary RTS game Starcraft Remastered and Starcraft 2 also dropped on Game Pass, but it's only for PC, which is a little bit disappointing for us who do play on consoles as well. However, though, for PC players, there's some awesome new additions. Starcraft Remastered lets you relive the iconic RTS with updated graphics and improved performance, while Starcraft 2 offers one of the best single-player campaigns in the genre, filled with strategic depth and epic space battles and a really gripping story. Now, if you guys have ever already played the multiplayer and you've been contemplating the single-player campaign for a while, this is really an awesome opportunity for you to dive right in and experience the classic with some much-needed modern enhancements. One of the cool things that we got to see is that Xbox Game Studios actually announced 2 new expansions for its recently released Age of Mythology, and I gotta say, I wasn't expecting them to come out so soon, guys, but I'm really glad they are. The first expansion of the 2 is called Immortal Pillars. This is set to come out soon, and it promises to take players on a new adventure through ancient China. Now, this expansion brings 12 new gods, a plethora of new powers, and abilities to this already epic strategy game, and I think this is definitely going to make things much more fun and challenging. Now, a release date was not announced, but Immortals Pillars is set to arrive as a day one Game Pass game, which I think is awesome. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long. Another game that's on Game Pass right now is All You Need Is Help. This is a co-op multiplayer puzzle game that brings a fresh twist to teamwork. You play as these adorable cube-shaped fluffies, and your mission is to solve puzzles together. Now, what makes this game challenging is that it relies heavily on teamwork. Each player can move freely, but you need each other to rotate and navigate the environment, making cooperation really key. Now, this is a simple concept, but one that's really perfect for younger players. Whether you're online or local, it's a fun and wholesome game that I really think is going to be awesome for kids to enjoy with friends or family. So maybe you're looking for a more relaxing and stress-free adventure on Game Pass, and if so, you're going to want to check out We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Reverie. This is a game where all you do is literally roll up everything. You control a sticky ball called a Katamari, and your goal is to roll it around, picking up objects like pencils and toys and even people until your Katamari grows bigger and bigger. And I know it sounds really simple, but players have loved this for its really addicting gameplay. So if you're looking for something just really just, fascinating, a little bit unique and stress-free, I absolutely recommend this on Game Pass, and it is available right now. Well, we are absolutely getting really close to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's almost here, and it's shaping up to be one of the more exciting entries we have ever seen as a day one Game Pass game. Now, the multiplayer mode is going to introduce 16 brand new maps, along with a few classics that are returning from earlier games. Players have been having a blast with the Omni movement system, which I think is a real game changer for FPS games, as it opens up a lot of opportunities for wild strategies. But beyond that multiplayer, what's really been really hyped, at least for me, is the single player campaign. This time the story centers around 2 rogue agents leading a team to stop a hidden threat that's managed to infiltrate a top intelligence agency. Plus, the fan favorite co-op zombie mode is making an epic comeback, and is packed with new features that are really going to keep us all on our toes. Black Ops 6 is set to arrive on Game Pass on October 25th. So Overwatch 2 is going all anime with a new collab with My Hero Academia, which brings all your favorite character skins from the popular anime series for a limited period of time. If you guys are an anime fan, I think this is your chance to suit up as your favorite characters, including Deku, All Might, Himiku, and a lot more. These skins will be available for players starting from October 15th to the 28th, and players are already having a blast with Overwatch 2 on Game Pass with those additional perks, and this edition adds just more to the mix. Guys, go ahead, if you haven't already, if you have Game Pass, you get some awesome special perks on Overwatch 2, so you're going to want to jump in and play right now. This is my absolute favorite like FPS arena type, competitive game of all time, and it's got my recommendation fully. Play this on Xbox. It's a lot of fun, and I've been having a blast. Now, if you're into fast-paced hero shooters, you're going to also want to hear about this game. Fragpunk, the much anticipated PvP shooter, is launching its closed closed beta this October, and it's shaping up to be a game changer. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, Fragpunk is a 5v5 team-based hero shooter, but what sets it apart is its innovative shard card system. This mechanic lets you alter the rules of the game in real time, letting you modify everything from gameplay mechanics to character abilities. The game looks really epic, and it's definitely nothing like we've ever seen before, so make sure to register for that closed beta as this drops on the 10th of October. So maybe you guys have been checking out Fallout 76, especially with the latest big updates. If your camps have been feeling a little bit quiet, I've got some awesome news. Pets, more importantly cats and dogs, are making their way to the camps. You'll be able to tame one of these adorable companions, have them stick around, interact with them in a bunch of cool ways, dress them up, and let them help you out with your chores or just hang out with them. For now, you can only tame one furry friend, but who knows, that might change later on. This exciting update is set to drop at the end of the year in December. We also got a fresh look at Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. If you guys are a fan of the legendary archaeologist, you're probably going to be as hyped as I am. This game promises to take indie fans to a whole new bold adventure we have never seen before. The gameplay seems to be a cool mix of stealth and action, where you'll explore these mysterious tombs and a rich world while really racing to solve the mystery of the Great Circle and uncover the treasure before your rivals do. Guys, this is really hyped. One of the biggest Game Pass games to come out of all time. I'm excited as this will be landing on December 9th. Sadly, I might be on vacation around that time, so I really hope I get to experience it with the rest of you guys, but I couldn't be more hyped, and this is shaping up to be an amazing game. Finally, guys, we have the games leaving Game Pass coming this October 15th. There's some good ones here, but not as good, guys, as the list of the very best Game Pass games you should play this fall right there on the screen, so click that and check that out.